At Enactus Cardiff Met, we are driven by the foundations of sustainability. These are community, environment, and an entrepreneurial leadership.
With a small team of 16 members, we have won 3 partner competitions, developed 2 sustainability projects, and impacted the lives of 36 vulnerable children in the Cardiff area.
Guided by our UN Sustainable Development Goals of quality education, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities, and life on land, our flagship project, Heroes Haven, is a project about hope. Heroes Haven originally helped veterans reconnect with the community. Using our entrepreneurial leadership, we pivoted the project's resources to reduce the risk from COVID-19.
2020 was a year for staying close to home, so we wanted to help address the needs of our immediate community.
Our new project partners and beneficiaries are the Pupil Referral Unit directly over the Taff River from the university, which offers a safe space for vulnerable children who can't attend school. In Wales today, there are over 2,000 students unable to attend mainstream education, 311 of them in Cardiff.
Research shows the long-term effects of being permanently excluded from education include decreased well-being, skill loss, social isolation, substance abuse, and poverty.
The children are all pupils aged 12 to 15 who are unable to attend mainstream school. The centre manager, Kimberly, explained that the children's issues mean that they cannot cope with the school environment due to mental health issues and challenging behaviour.
The Youth Centre offers a safe space for the children which they attend once a week. Through collaboration with Kimberly and the key workers in the centre, we created questionnaires for staff and children to discover their specific needs.
The results backed up our thorough needs assessment, showing our children suffer with stress caused by the aforementioned pressures, which manifest themselves in a range of challenging behaviours, anxiety, and a struggle to develop bonds of trust.
The key issues were that the children needed inclusion, practical and emotional skills, self-confidence, and re-engagement with learning and reconnecting to their environment to improve their well-being.
In response to the identified issues, we developed an innovative pilot project aimed to engage the children, build trust and assess their needs, and improve their well-being during lockdown. The project will help young people to build on their strengths and develop the competencies, values, and connections they need for life and work.
We have done this by mixing online and physical resources with a range of practical and outdoor environmental education activities.
In January, we entered project partner competitions with BIC Foundation and won first prize of £2,500, Ford COVID Fund of £2,000, and Social Farms and Gardens donated 40 trees.
This allowed us to buy resources to run 6 youth development workshops. We bought seeds, compost and craft supplies, trees, tools and books, and we produced 6 hours of online teaching, combining printable worksheets with recorded videos.
These were delivered each week from the centre over the spring term, covering topics such as food production, birds, trees, soil, insects, and forest gardens.
We combine learning with nature-based crafts, games, and planting. These help meet the needs of increased confidence and engagement with education.
As it serves vulnerable children, the Youth Centre stayed open throughout lockdown. To remain safe, we delivered 3 different online workshops for 20 children. They made bird feeders, coil pots, they planted peas and tomatoes in recycled trays, and 36 more children benefited from the 6 further online resources. So far, we have planted 40 trees together. The children are learning forest care, harvesting, and selling produce, meeting the needs of community engagement and inclusion.
In June 2021, we will bring in a hurdle maker to teach the children how to make fencing, then fence their site to stop the dogs from spoiling it. We'll make planters teach garden design, planting and care using a range of transferable skills. This will also help them produce fresh fruits and vegetables.
In the summer, we will run activities in the Llandaff campus woods. These will include tree identification, den making, first aid and forest school techniques. They will help the children increase in confidence, language and practical skills, whilst developing a new relationship to their local ecology. 36 children are currently benefiting from the project, 6 live online and 2 working with us in person. We have benefited the environment by planting 60 fruit trees in 14 months, as well as bushes and vegetables.
We have measured impact through pre- and post-feedback sheets and received written testimonials and photos from the children and staff. we have helped re-engage children with their learning through co-created activities and fun, with children learning leadership and social skills.
With student mentorship, we have increased engagement and given the children links to the university. Heroes Haven has the potential to offer 36 young people a range of physical, psychological and social benefits. Our project also impacted the local community, with the centre distributing the worksheets throughout the local neighbourhood.
Many studies show how being in nature develops resilience, confidence and creativity. This is reflected in our co-designing of the garden. Through environmental education, we have been promoting valuing their environment, giving them the language to discuss it and the skills to protect it.
The benefits of this project will be felt far beyond the pupils in the referral unit. There is a potential to scale this scheme across South Wales and beyond, benefiting hundreds of disadvantaged children.
This is a testimonial from a member of staff at the centre.
It's amazing to see their faces. They come back from the tree planting so happy, and this group you're working with, they could have a chance of getting into a college setting. So to have these connections with the university, it's so important for them. It's just amazing.
Our passion for sustainability and the environment led us to develop our second project, Met Zero, meeting the needs of families in Cardiff suffering from food insecurity without contributing plastic waste. The project will alleviate local hunger whilst protecting the environment at the same time.
We wanted to start Met Zero, a zero waste store on our campus, and a meal pack project, because as the poverty gap widens, the nutritional food has become less accessible. In Cardiff, 30.8% of households are living in poverty with limited access to nutritious food.
But often, the solution to this problem focus heavily on affordability, but do not consider the environmental impact. This is an issue as over the past 10 years, humans have created more plastic waste than in the last century. This waste is generally non-biodegradable and pollutes our oceans and waterways. Therefore, we needed to create a solution that avoids plastic waste.
Our solution is to create dignified minimal waste meal packs. We will do this using zero waste produce from our store, as well as collaborating with local farmers. These packs will then be delivered using a bicycle and trailer.
The recipes will be predominantly one-pot meals and come with detailed, easy-to-read recipe cards. A QR code will also be provided, which will link customers to an instructional video showing how to prepare the meal for those who might struggle with reading the instructions.
The main objective of these packs is to create dignity. The packs will be distributed by local food clubs based in schools in Cardiff. In order to run the project, we have secured funding from NUS Student Eats and Sodexo.
Beginning in September 2021, and by December of this same year, there will be 25 vulnerable or low-income families who will be supported directly by Met Zero. We will help to improve their quality of life by alleviating hunger and empowering them with new skills such as comprehension, organisation and concentration.
There is a dignity in being able to cook for your family, but this is a skill that not everybody is taught. Similarly, students often begin university with small budgets and limited cooking skills, and we'll be offering the packs to students for £2.50, which will fund a meal both for themselves and for a beneficiary, making the project self-sustaining.
Buying in bulk and selling without packaging significantly decreases its price, making the food more accessible. Whilst these savings seem small, they quickly add up when planning entire meals.
The affordability of the ingredients means we can use a wider variety in our meals, making the food more nutritious and more exciting as well. Quality of life should not just be about surviving, it should be about thriving.
After our pilot, we will create new packs such as baking kits to further develop these skills, with the opportunity to be creative. These packs will not purely be about necessity, but more about enjoyment.
Developing these transferable skills creates dignity, opens up future opportunities, and most importantly, stops these families from going hungry.
We will also begin to introduce a jar refill service from December onwards, where the ingredients of our packs will be sent out in jars. They will then be returned to us, where we will sterilise them and use them again. This is to minimise our waste further and protect the environment for future generations.
Both projects have the potential for long-term impact. With the Heroes Haven, this project can be seen as a social and financial investment, which will accumulate high interest in years to follow.
We have secured funding for setup costs, and the rolling cost of workshops should not exceed £10 a session, as we are using natural and largely recycled materials.
The forest will supply a space and materials for forestry skills workshops and crafts, all of which can be sold or taught to the community. We'll be looking to raise funds through sales of vegetables and crafts, profits from our other projects, fundraising events and grants for the first 3 years. Once we've improved our impact, we can apply for funding through the centre from the LEA. This is a business model used successfully by other educational schemes.
Once the garden is up and fruiting in summer 2022, we will be able to use the produce in many other project activities. The children will be able to sell it in our monthly community market on campus and take it home to feed their families. They can also hold cooking days and enjoy juice pressing and jam making activities. Once it is safe to do so, we will bring the veterans back into the group, first as co-hosts and then as activity leaders, eventually leaving the fully funded scheme with the 2 beneficiary groups in the community.
This year, we have gained new project partners, engaged business advisors, won corporate sponsors, and secured over £7,000 of funding.
Despite the COVID pandemic, as a team, we used our entrepreneurial mindsets to pivot our projects to offer immediate impact where the need was greatest. At Enactus Cardiff Met, we are committed to inspiring and empowering sustainable living, both on campus and in our community.
We intend that the minds and bodies we feed today will be inspired by their new links to the university. They will engage in lifelong learning, continuing the legacy of the Heroes Haven and Met Zero projects for decades to come. Thank you for listening, or in the words of our home nation, Diolch yn fawr.